So, Professor, could you tell us about your poster first?
Okay, so this is research that was done particularly by my student Jade Samping out of the University of Windsor. And we were looking at a particular workstation. The company was interested in knowing whether it mattered to have a gamified interface or not. And they supplied us with their tables, which are height adjustable electrical height,
Yes.
and a bicycle that you can use underneath the table.
Oh.
The gamification allowed you to change the height
see.
whenever you wanted to, but it also allowed you to get feedback, which would encourage you to be more physically active. What we found was really interesting. So we were measuring, in this case, heart rate variability. That's a variable that isn't really tested in ergonomics very much. So
Right.
we weren't even sure whether it was really going to show anything. But we tested it then for before the person used the workstation, when they were using the workstation, either with the gamification or just as a dynamic
baseline.
workstation.
Yes.
And then after we took the workstation away.
Oh.
So we wanted to see whether there were changes. And what we found was really interesting. We weren't expecting to see a gender difference. We did find that the pre was worse than either of the two dynamic workstations. So it mattered, it made you healthier to use the dynamic workstation. But when we look at men versus women, we see that in these cases you want to have the values higher up because that means that your heart rate is changing more. You've got more heart rate variability. That means your system is ready to adapt. Okay? You aren't as stressed, if you will. And so with the men, we saw more of that than we did with the women.
I see.
And it didn't matter whether we did it with the pre using the workstation and with the non-gamified or the pre with the gamified, we saw the same tendency. What this shows us is basically that we can't just say that women and men are the same. And there seems to be a way that physiologically the women are feeling more stressed than the men when they are faced with the same kind of dynamic workstation.
Interesting. So thank you for your comments about your poster, Professor. And here we are at the gender part poster. Come visit us. Thank you.